James, congratulations on the new role. Was it a surprise when you heard?
Thanks, Garrett. Yeah, look, I suppose it was probably a week before it was announced, like from the interview to when I got the job, like, and I suppose the longer it went on, you're thinking, I thought I'd done a good interview and all that, but I suppose when I got the word and got the call, I was absolutely delighted, like, and surprised and honoured, I suppose. Yeah.
You've been involved with men's at underage level, international level.
Yeah.
But not so much on the women's side of things. Yeah. Why the reason to go for this job?
Well, I suppose, look, I'm a development officer now since 2008, and in the local area I would have been very involved in girls football and women's football. We would have had Gainer Cups for years and all that, and I've always really enjoyed working with the women and girls, like in that side of things. So I thought it'd be a really, really great opportunity. I think it's a massive area that's growing at the moment. Obviously, just looking at the Women's World Cup as well, like I thought particularly latter rounds the games are fantastic, like, so, and you see our own women's senior team now as well is really starting to compete, and the exposure and all that, so I think it's a very exciting time to be involved in the women's game.
For your own development, this is probably the next stage, isn't it? As you said, you've been involved with a local level development officer, you've done the emerging talent program, you've been involved at an elite level, you've been an assistant, now it's a chance to be a head coach. Yeah.
So now, like, I mean, like, when you're the head coach, it's that responsibility, like, you have to make the decisions and so on. And I think, look, I've been with the FAI now 12 years, and I think it's a good time for me now to step into that position and take on that, and work with your staff and so on to get the players to reach their level.
What's been the most common piece of advice people have said to you about taking on a head coach's role so far?
I suppose, look, it's just be organised, and try to be a step ahead. It's going to be hard work, it's going to be long hours and things like that, but I suppose what you put into it, you get out of it, and certainly something I won't be shying away from long nights watching games and so on and so forth, and on the training pitch, and look, trying to inspire them to go on and compete and reach their level.
The age level that you're operating at, there's very much asymmetry, isn't there? That you have to work with Sue at the 16s, but also Dave Connell with the 19s, in order to make sure that the players are coming both ways, really. Yeah,
so look, and even Richard Berkeley with the 15 schools as well would be a key part of that. So look, the players coming through there's some excellent players. Like, the last few weeks I've been at Women's National League games, like, and half-state level has been absolutely excellent. So players are coming through, the work's been done brilliant at 15s and 16s, as well. Like, we have a couple of players that would qualify for the 17s that are actually with the 19s in a training camp in Limerick at the moment with Dave Connell. So that goes to show, like, we're here to develop players. Like, so if there's a player that's in with the 17s that's at the level to play 19s, happy days. If they want to go ahead and bring themselves on, that's where they need to be, like, playing games at that level, so that's what it's all about. And hopefully, in a few years that they'll be senior internationals, and that's what we're all here for.
You mentioned the National League level. How important has the introduction of the under-17 tier been to the Soho Hotels Women's National League?
Look, it's massive. I was just, like, talking with the staff, like, I mean, if we were there, 2, 3, 4 years ago, like, and you'd be looking at games, you could be looking at a girl that could be an excellent player, but she could be scoring 5 goals in a local league and you might think, oh, she looks really well, but big difference to international level. But now I'm watching the Women's National League games, very competitive games, some excellent players playing in it, like, so, like, it really has progressed them now. So, they're not coming and going, oh my God, that international level is so much higher. It's a step up, yes, but it's not the massive step that you had before.
And that's reflected in the squad that you've selected for this friendly double header. Now, it's not all a bunch of girls coming from the one dominant team. It's spread out: Sligo, Shelbourne, Peamount, Limerick, so on and so forth.
Yeah, players coming from all over Ireland. From the Sligos, we've a couple of players from Science Swifts as well in the Northern Ireland League. Players up in Donegal, down as far as Cork, all that. So, that as well reflects on the work being done at grassroots level as well. In the girls' game, like, is top class. Every league now nearly has Gainer Cups and so on. So, it doesn't have to be at you're with, like, traditional kind of clubs like the Shelbournes and the Peamounts would have been traditional girls, very, superpowers, we'll say. But now it's all over, like, and credit to the grassroots coaches, I must say.
How do you find the balance in terms of ambition for yourself, in terms of development versus results? In terms of the last couple of years, Dave Connell and Dave Bell both got the under-17s women's to the European Championships. Is that the aim, or is the aim to develop these girls to get onto the next level?
Look, I'll meet the girls for the first time as the under-17 manager on Thursday. It'll be our first get-together. And I will be saying to them that, asking them what their goal is and all that. And to be honest, I'll probably put up the 8th of May 2020 and say, what does this signify? And that's the first day of the under-17 Euros in Sweden. And we have to get that mentality now and that mindset that we're not here to take part, and maybe we might get to league qualifiers or sometimes first phase is all we'll get to, whatever it might be. We need to be aiming every year for the Euros, and that's the way, because if we want the senior team to start now really pushing on, the girls that come into that need to have the mindset that we're not coming here to take part in qualifiers and have kind of some good results and all that, and maybe finished second or third and not qualifying and all that. We want them qualifying for these tournaments, so that starts now. And yes, by all means we want to develop players, but developing a winning mindset is a key part of my job as well.
That is important, isn't it? That when young players get that winning mindset, they maintain it as they go up the levels, and they become almost fearless. Yeah,
100%. And they need to be coming into that environment where, be it us as staff as well, they're challenging us, and they're saying, is everything right? The training sessions right? The diet, nutrition, all that kind of stuff, that we're, ahead of the game there. And that's what they should expect every time they come into things like this. And that's what we really want. We want that mindset that players are coming. I seen a picture the other night of the women playing the United States, and after the game there was pictures and all that, and but them pictures should be at a World Cup, they should be at European Championships. That's what we need to aim for, and we need to get the girls thinking that way now from the very, very get-go.
Obviously, you've got 2 games against Belgium coming up now. What's the real purpose? Is it just to kind of get to know the group of players, then to get to know you and the staff?
Yeah, so look, I suppose I've picked a squad for Belgium. I maybe had a week to pick it, so it has been difficult. I didn't maybe have much change from the UEFA development tournament under 16. A lot of similar players. There's a few players away, a few players with the 19, so we had to bring in some other new players, we'll say, that were on the fringes, and massive opportunity for them. So for me, it's really, having a look at these players, see how they get on in an international game, see who's at the level at the moment, probably see who's near enough the level as well, that we can hopefully develop over the next year. And and then on 7th of September, then we're going to Lithuania, and the big thing for me now at the moment is squad of 20, and by no means is anyone guaranteed to be in that 20, so it's very much open. We'll when we come back next week, we'll have I think on 21st of August we'll have a national assessment, and we'll be bringing in a lot of players. It's a fresh pair of eyes. We're giving everyone an opportunity, and if players excel, they'll be in the plans for the 7th of September in Lithuania.
Before you get to Lithuania, it's very much a level that you have to take a lot of different things into consideration, isn't there? Because these girls are in school, they're maturing, they're developing as well. There's a lot of different factors that go into it. They're not professional, they're not semi-professional. So, but you want to get them to the elite level standard. Yeah,
I suppose a big part of my role as well will be to have communication with the managers. So one of the big things for me will be that communication, just to know what they're training, what their load is, even with the girls as well, what other sports they're playing, so that we're not coming in and they could be coming back from an injury or whatever, and we're giving them a high intensity session, so all these things need to be taken into account. You obviously have other things as well, like study. I just recently watched a study there about the correlation between doing your leaving cert or doing your junior cert, and a lot of people saying, you need to take this year off from sport, and nothing shows that that's any benefit, so I think it's more about getting the balance right to make sure, yes, they're playing their sport, they're having that kind of healthy and so on and so forth, but they're also doing well in school and so on, and in social with friends and all that, because we have to remember that as well. These are 16-year-old girls, so it can't be all Euros and so on and so forth. We have to take that into account as well,
And then obviously the travel, going to a place like Lithuania, it's going to have its challenges as well.
100%, so probably a help of that this week will be Tom Elms is over there with Wexford Youths. I know Tom very well, a good friend of mine. I've worked with him a number of times, so I'll be on to Tom to find out about what things he has encountered this week. Be it food, be it hotels, training facilities, all that. That's something I suppose will be new to me, because before you were travelling maybe to over to England to tournaments or whatever, but now it's Lithuania and places like that, so it definitely will be a learning curve for me as well.
You've touched on it there with the mention of the managers and Tom out at Wexford Youths. How important will that relationship be with the clubs then, to, I'd say, not only the training level but the personalities of the players, positions? and them learning off you as much as you learning off them.
Yeah, like, you know, just chatting to one of the managers there, you know, and during the week, and he just said to me about the player and maybe she's a little bit shy and so on, you know, and little things like that like are invaluable to me, like, you know. So by all means we can go and say, oh, she's a good left foot or she's a good defender or this and that, like, but it's a personality as well, and knowing who's coming into you. I'm very, very much about that. I want a girl to come in on Thursday with a smile on her face and leave next Wednesday having played maybe 2 games against Belgium, but leave with a smile on her face as well. It has to be, number one, it has to be a fun environment. They have to enjoy it. If you're not enjoying the environment, then you're not really going to excel. Like, so that's very, very important. So that's, you know, back again, the key. I said to any of the managers I spoke to that you're the player identification staff, really, because you're working with them players day in, day out. You know, in matches, seeing how they come in, the things that they're very good at, the things they need improvement on, and so on. I only have them maybe for a few days with the staff, like, so we're only topping up on that. So the role of the managers in the various clubs it can't be underestimated.
Excited to get going?
Yeah, really excited now. Look, obviously, first group together. I'm nervous myself. I'm sure, like, you know, the staff as well. Like, you know, want to make an impression, get going. But I'm buzzing for it now, and I can't wait for Thursday to come around.